Today's podcast is sponsored by Plow Right Marking Stakes. Learn more inside the episode and save 10% store-wide with the Brian's 10 code.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, today I want to talk about closing snow work and talk about the snow season in general and just a couple quick real-time tips that I think I could help you guys out with that have worked for us, that I've learned from other great folks, especially when it comes to putting some urgency on closing snow, how to maybe pull it away a little bit that actually invites people to sign on the dotted line and really just help make maybe some last minute conversions, but also going into the 2025 season, you have some of this in your repertoire, so we know how to navigate the conversation of getting new snow work and even renewing snow work for next year. Those are some of the things I want to talk about for just a couple quick minutes here today. I actually shared this on a little bit of like a 3 or 4 paragraph kind of a blog post or whatever you want to call it in our private Facebook group link. I thought it was too good to not share to more folks out there. Again, not in a prideful, boastful way, but just in if there's getting a lot of good feedback in that group, I just figure if it's helping 10, 15 people that are leaving comments on that Facebook thread and, a couple hundred people viewed it, then I'm sure then it can help what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Is that the saying? And so I thought maybe it could help pay it forward to the rest of you guys out there with some helpful tips on closing snow. So that's what we're going to talk about for just a couple quick minutes today. All things being said, I hope you guys are off to a great week, having a great, what is the second part of November here? We're full blown into leaf cleanups. We've got about 2 solid more weeks left, about 6 or so days of commercial, 3 or 4 of residential, and then that should pretty much wrap it up. Next week, we actually have some salt training, some snow training that we're going to be doing with our guys and my friend Mike Bedell to help us learn a little bit more about our salters. Next week, we've got a Boss, what is the new VBX 8000, but the VBX Plus 2 cubic yarder. That's going into the red truck that we have, Mark's truck, and then that 6.5 or 6500 and the 1.5 cubic yarder. That one's going to get switched into my truck. So a lot of moving parts, as you guys can imagine. We're super fired up about all of that. The next 2 weeks, super, super busy. And then after that, hopefully we can kind of relax for a little bit, maybe finish up some cleanups other than some, last minute call-ins. And if we can make a day out of cleanups, we'll go out there, we'll mobilize and do the whole deal. But really around Thanksgiving forward, hopefully we can kind of start setting our horizons on snow. All right. So that's what we got going on in our neck of the woods. Just a quick honorable mention, the Black Friday sale is going to go on Black Friday through Cyber Monday, promo code SAVE30. Just earmark that if you're looking to scoop anything up of entrepreneuracademy.com. And also, the whole ball of wax sale is $400 off now through Christmas. Our best sale of the year for sure. And so just want to say thank you guys for the support if you guys are looking to pick that up as well. Let's do this really quick. Let's hear from today's show sponsors and announcements. It's going to be a quick, podcast today. My wife and I actually have a 5 o'clock appointment we got to rush out the door for. So I want to make sure that the next 20 minutes we land the plane talking about some great ways to close snow and how to put a little bit more urgency on the conversation and to have people, what's the best way to say it? To not be on the fence and to get people to make decisions, right? That's what we're always trying to do is help people to come to a conclusion and to make decisions. So if you guys want to hang tight with me for just a quick minute, let's run it back, hear from today's show sponsors and announcements, and we will come right on back.
With the shorter days upon us and winter rapidly approaching, now is the best time to prepare your business for the busy snow season. Before you rush out the door to plow the first ounce of white gold, ensure a safe and successful evening on your sites with adequate site marking from Plowright. Plowright offers high-quality marking stakes that are flexible enough to spring back up through the toughest of conditions winter has to offer. Mark out your property lines, curbs, trip edge areas, and more with the best marking stakes in the industry. Plowright marking stakes come in all lengths and colors to give you the best choice in marking stakes for your sites. Lay up to 350 stakes per hour with the integrated staking tool and quiver kit for the ultimate starter combo, and refill with additional stakes as you see fit. Check out everything that Plowright has to offer and more at plow-right.com. Link is in the description. And don't forget, Brian's 10 saves 10% off everything site-wide. Thanks for your support and have a safe, profitable snow season.
All right, guys, well, let's hop back into it here. I wanted to give 2 thoughts as we move diligently towards closing more snow work and more snow quotes. So 2 tips I wanted to offer that I think could be extremely helpful for you guys is, number 1, always have more work in your pipeline and put yourself at 110, 120% capacity, whatever you want to call it, but always have more work coming in the queue than what you can handle. Now, actually, I had a great comment from a gentleman named Shane in the group. Let you guys know Shane. And he said, this is take out the word snow and insert almost any other service or any other part of our business. And this would be true just as much as anything else. But specifically, of course, today we're talking about snow. And even more specifically, I'm talking about the fact that there's a great book that came out there a little while ago, maybe 7, 8, 9 years ago now, called The Pumpkin Plan. I think that's one of the, who's the guy that wrote Profit First? That Mike McCallowitz, right? Is that one of his books? It was just a phenomenal book. It's an easy read, but basically talked about how you can pumpkin plan your business. And really, it's like a gross, narrative story of the 80-20 principle, where 80% of your revenue is going to come from 20% of your clientele. And not to give away the whole book, but basically, if you're growing a pumpkin patch, you want to grow big pumpkins that are going to win awards at the pumpkin patch show, whatever that's called, at the Fall Harvest Festival. You got to cut off the dead pumpkins off the line if you want to make sure the one pumpkin gets all the nutrients and can grow the biggest and the baddest and the burliest, right? And so that's the reality it is with our business. So tip number 1. We'll get into closing more snow work here in a second, but tip number 1, have more work in the pipeline, have more work than what you can probably handle. And as you're going through the whole process, maybe even if you're a little bit more of an established business, feel free, or I would even encourage you to do so, having the exercise of pruning the bottom 10 or 20% of your business year over year and replacing the top with new customers that appreciate you and not tolerate you, right? Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. And the whole point of this is, a glaring example. I literally right now have real-time contract with a church. We've had them for, probably about 5 or 6 years now. They're a slow payer. They're very, very horrible at communication, i.e. there's no communication. It's at best, we send out the contract. I get a reply 3 weeks later, received. I say, hey, where are we at on the snow? 3 weeks later, it's returned. And then the only time they call or email even is at best to complain, but really there's no communication. And although that's maybe not terrible and horrible, or even maybe so much we're hey, even slow payers are still payers, right? Anybody ever say that before? Hey, they're due every 30 days, not 30, but they take 45 or 60 days to pay. Oh, I still get my money. It sucks, but it is what it is. Those kind of conversations are what I'm trying to steer more clear of as we continue to grow. And twofold: 1, take on new clients that appreciate us, and number 2, prune clients that quote unquote don't. And I'm not saying in a completely ungrateful, narcissistic, or proud way. I'm just saying I can't be waiting around for my money. I can't be waiting around for communication. Things move quick around here, and I want to make sure that we're taking care of those clients with a very white glove approach, how we handle all of our clientele. And somebody who's a slow payer, non-payer, of course, non-payer, the writing's on the wall, but a slow payer or somebody that just doesn't want to communicate, that's not going to fit our product portfolio moving forward. And for 5 years, I've dealt with this, and it's gotten progressively worse, which is wild. I've literally bluntly asked, is there anything we can do to increase or improve communication from both sides? You kind of self-deprecate a little bit. Hey, maybe we're dropping the ball. Maybe it's me. And again, I know I'm throwing up on you guys here and coming at you, like you're drinking out of a fire hose, but in a very patient, calm, collective, cool hand Luke demeanor, I'm saying, is there anything more that we can do, that I can do to increase communication with you guys? And how do you think that email went? The same way. There's been no communication. So you can't throw, sugar on a dog turd and call it a donut. Okay. It doesn't work like that. It's just a poop client. And the funny thing is, it's a decently profitable account. It's an easy scrape for us. It's in our backyard. It kind of stinks. But you know what? I'm willing to let it go because twofold. 1, they're not communicating, and I don't feel appreciated or tolerated. I feel tolerated, not appreciated. And number 2, I have other clients right now that would absolutely love a spot on the route. Right now, we have enough sales in our pipeline that we have 110, 120% capacity, quote unquote, for our 3 trucks out there. And so at the end of the day, do I want to keep them? Yes. Are we going to? No, because I want to double down with clients that appreciate us. Now, tip number 2, part of this is if they are going to be this way, all of us listening in, you will probably admit that if the price is right, you'll still deal with this kind of bullcrap. And I'm still one to go back to an abusive relationship. It's just my nature. I don't know why it is. I don't know what it is. But here's what I did. Instead of me saying, hey, you're dropped, here's our new conversation. And I think this could be really helpful for you guys. This is kind of tip number 2. Have firm deadlines and pre-season snow pricing. And anything that goes over those timelines or deadlines, now the conversation changes to we're going to be able to service your site, quote unquote, at a premium. So the client that I'm referring to, I sent them an email saying, hey, just so you know, as I had communicated before, pre-season sale snow pricing ended 10/31/24. Here is the new proposal, and these rates are what we have available for your site moving forward. We can still get you guys in on the route. Please communicate, let us know if you're interested, and we can go from there. So 2 things. 1, on a regular client, we have to have a realistic deadline of when we need our snow work back. I'm not going to take on a client the day it snows when I've been having 2 months of conversation back and forth and then should have signed papers. Now, if somebody else signs up on the spot because their guy stunk, their guy quit, they weren't happy with them after the first snowfall, okay, that's a different conversation. But if I've been courting you and you've been courting me for snow work for 3 months and you can't land the freaking plane, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for the back and forth, bro. I will hold your hand through the whole sales process. I will work with you. I will take 3 months, only has to take 3 weeks or even 3 days. Like, that's fine. So don't go to the extremes, hear what I'm trying to say. But if you're hemming and hawing and you don't know how to make a decision, bro, that's not my problem and you're not for me. And the only reason I can say that with boldness and authority is because we have 110, 120% capacity for their route. By the way, quick pro life tip here. Act that way when you have 10% of your capacity filled up and you'll quickly get to 100. If you do the beggy choosy, help me, please get back with me kind of approach, instead of the, hey, I'm successful, I move quick, and if you're not getting on board, get out of the way kind of an attitude, then you'll never get to 110% capacity with your business. I'm telling you the truth. This is how it works. People want to work with people who are walking fast, they're succeeding, they're moving on. And that creates a vacuum for people that want to sign up with you. If you're hey, well, I know it's November 15th, and yeah, we can get you in on the route. We've got plenty of open space, always accepting new clients. Hey, no big deal. Get the paperwork back when you can. Bro, that's not how the most successful businesses of sales works. And number 2, that's not how the snow business works. Routes are figured out. We have limited capacity. It's not mowing grass where you can just throw an extra guy on the route or an extra client on the route and go mow for an extra half hour towards the twilight. And you got, sunny days from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. It doesn't work that way with snow. A certain truck can only have a certain amount of production, a certain amount of capacity. Once we hit it, we're full. I can always buy more trucks, more crew, more everything, but eventually tap on what you're able to finance or what you're able to get or able to secure, or all of our equipment is allocated, right? Or I'm already at the growth curve where I want to be, or I'm just not interested. All those are fair factors, right? So one quick suggestion here is, as you go through the snow conversation in August, say, right now we're offering a pre-sales pricing, which is quote unquote a retail pricing. This is good and through, October 31st, Halloween. After that, pre-season pricing is over. Okay. So there's urgency on the conversation. If they miss the mark, if they don't sign up, that's fine. Sort of 50-50, right? Then it's either I don't want them because they're not appreciating me, they're tolerating me, or number 2, we'll still take you back on and give you a spot on the route, but it's going to be a 50% or a 25% premium over the pricing that I gave you previously. And that's what I did with the church client. Okay. Now, again, church client or not, they're a paying customer and, it is what it is, right? So I sent them a new proposal. All the rates were up, I think 25%. Base script was $245. Now it's $295. Then it was $365. And now it's $430 or $435. Not my problem. We'll still squeeze you in at a premium, just like somebody says, hey, when's your list? You can get my landscaping done for my backyard. Well, I'm booked out 3 weeks. What if I throw you an extra $2,500? Could you bump us to the front of the list? I don't know. I'll entertain that thought. You know what I'm saying? But everything like that comes with some push and shove, right? So I'm not saying go to extremes, just flush people or, 20% lop off the bottom of your business. I'm also saying that it might be okay if you did, right? So a couple quick takeaways. Number 1, 80-20 your business. This goes for snow. This goes for commercial. This goes with employees and attitudes. Who's the 2 weakest link, part of our 20-person team? Those 2 guys, out of here. Bump them. You know what? You can't bump those two until you have 6 new guys starting on Monday. 2 things are going to happen. The 2 guys that have terrible attitudes and the other 5 guys that are on the bottom of the list too, attitudes will start shaping up. You'll probably fix a couple of them. The rest of them, they got to go. But you can't make them go if you're not only on staff, full staff, but short staffed. You can't do it. You have to be overstaffed. And overstaffed gives you 2 pieces of urgency. 1, to replace people that stink, and number 2, to grow sales so you can backfill with work. Okay, so just a couple quick tips, just a couple quick thoughts here. Number 1, 80-20 your business. Go pick up The Pumpkin Plan on Amazon. It's a great fun read. Mike Michalowicz, he's got like 20 different books out there. They all basically say the same thing, but whatever. He's a best-selling author, so he's figuring out the system, right? He's playing the game. Number 2, put deadlines on your snow work. Right now, real time, you guys listen to this. And you're like, man, I've got 6 snow contracts out there. I've got $100,000 of work that's still out there, or $50,000 of work that's still out there, $500,000 of snow work that's still out there. I can't get this guy to sign. I can't get this guy to commit. Well, we started the whole conversation incorrectly. There was no deadlines. There was no timelines. There was no words communicated about how this sales process works. You just said, hey man, here's the quote, and you're praying, fingers crossed, that it goes back with you. Versus saying, hey, I need this back in a reasonable timeline. Here's our timeline, not your timeline. Here's our preseason pricing. If you don't get it back, there's a double urgency here. Not only do you not have a spot on the route, but the actual price is going to go up 25%. Right? And then number 3, the urgency of we can only take on so much work. So it's a first come, first serve frenzy when I start sending out all my snow work in August. You want a spot on the route? Get it back the same day or next day. If you're the 15th person out of 15 sites that you might manage, I don't know if I can secure you on site. Right? I don't know if I can secure you a spot. Does that make sense? So snow is a move fast, talk fast. I have no problem slowing down to take people through the sales process, but there has to be urgency, and it's not when the first snowflake falls. By then, it's way too late for the regular season folks, for the regular conversation folks. Again, somebody has a client that, somebody's a client and their guy doesn't show up. I'll totally entertain that whole conversation of scooping up a site, probably post my regular retail rate. You're coming now at a premium because our spots and our routes secured, right? I don't need it. And because I don't need it, I'm going to give you the, bloated retail price. And if I get it, great. I make a lot of money. If I don't get it, doesn't bother me. My bills are paid for anyway. Okay. So go listen to this podcast episode 1 or 2 more times. It's a lot here that it's going to take a couple times to permeate into your brain. This is stuff that I've been working on for years. I got a lot of these tips actually just in the last 12, 18 months, talking to guys like Corey Ballard, Troy Clogg, and so many more. These are helpful tips for me. This is what I know is working in my business. We are closing accounts left and right. Real time, 11:15 is the ultimate cutoff for anybody to be added to my snow route that I currently have a conversation with. I have one that knows that. The other one is the church. One of the churches that we manage, I couldn't care less if we get it. Frankly, I'm just kind of done with it. It's been 5 years of abuse. Abuse is a strong word, but 5 years of back and forth, and I'm just done with it. I don't care. I don't care if we make 70% profit margin on it. I'm done. Eventually, it doesn't come to money. Eventually, it comes to mutual respect, and we're getting none from that client. Amen. And so the other client, they know they're actually waiting for the manager's approval because we just got them a long quote for 2025, new commercial site that's coming online. So I'm going to give them an extra day or 2. But by 11:15, we need decisions made. And if we don't get it, again, no problem. My bills were paid before I came over, right? So if we sign you up, great. If we don't, absolutely no big deal. I love you. You love me. I'll see you in the community. I'll still wave to you when I'm at Kroger. But other than that, you just didn't fit the mold for our clientele, our timelines, and our system and how things work around here. It doesn't mean you're big shot. Doesn't mean you're big time. There's no big ego here. I know I'm talking fast. I'm just trying to come at you guys fast. You can get as much information as a short amount of time as possible. Okay. This is what's working for me. I know this is working for other folks. I had 10 people say, hey, this is great. This is a great thought process. Part of our Link private Facebook group. This is just one tip, by the way, of the day. There was 3 to 5 posts every day with stuff just like this from myself and other great guys in the group. Invite you to check it out. It's $29 a month. Our Link membership, private Facebook group. Real time tonight, we're going to be doing a live stream from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern. I mean, this is what you get, part of that private Facebook group, and so much more. And so I just want to extend an invitation. If you guys want to check it out, we'll leave a link in the description. Over and out, guys. Love you. Appreciate you. This is real time. How to close more snow work, create some urgency in your life. I feel like it's working for me, and I know it's working for me, and I know it can work for you. Guys, I love you so much. If there's anything we can do for you, holler, let me know. Tons of great sales going on. Promo code Brian if you guys are signing up with LMN this fall. Hope to see you guys at the Boston, Detroit, and Chicago masterminds. If you guys do sign up there, make sure you guys scream promo code Brian to get signed up there. They'll honor the best price ever with Black Friday and then some extra perks. So anything we can do for you guys, just let me know. Always here for you. Have a beautiful day. And we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
With the shorter days upon us and winter rapidly approaching, now is the best time to prepare your business for the busy snow season. Before you rush out the door to plow the first ounce of white gold, ensure a safe and successful evening on your sites with adequate site marking from Plowright. Plowright offers high-quality marking stakes that are flexible enough to spring back up through the toughest of conditions winter has to offer. Mark out your property lines, curbs, trip edge areas, and more with the best marking stakes in the industry. Plowright marking stakes come in all lengths and colors to give you the best choice in marking stakes for your sites. Lay up to 350 stakes per hour with the integrated staking tool and quiver kit for the ultimate starter combo, and refill with additional stakes as you see fit. Check out everything that Plowright has to offer and more at plow-right.com. Link is in the description. And don't forget, Brian's 10 saves 10% off everything site-wide. Thanks for your support, and have a safe, profitable snow season.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.